Okay, today we want to revise a 2021 G.C.E. paper, Mathematics, paper 1. We're going to solve some few questions and see how to tackle and how to answer the questions correctly. So you must be, if you want to go through, smartly, you pause the video and you go through the question, then you continue the video. So with the question 1, simplify 2ab minus ab squared minus 7ab plus a squared b plus 5ab squared. To simplify that algebraic expression. So to simplify an expression, you first need to group the like terms. So you are required to identify the like terms in this expression. Now like terms, these are numbers or letters with the same type or numbers without the end letter. So in this case, we have these numbers which contains these variables or simply called letters. So you first have to arrange these according to their like terms. We start by writing numbers with the powers as given in the first priority. So in this case, the right terms would be a squared, b, this one is just alone in this expression where we have a squared, it is only at this number. So it has no like term, you write it along like that. Then if you check 5ab squared and the ab squared, these two are like terms because they both have this b as a square. So we have plus 5ab squared minus ab squared. Then you put these two together again. These two are also like terms. So we have negative 7ab and positive 2ab. When you group them into like terms, you can simply add or subtract where possible. So in this case, these two can be added. Then if you add the a squared, b is not a like term of this one, but these two are like terms can be added. These also can be added. So that means the first part, you write it without changing, ab. Then these two have different signs. So for you to subtract this, you need to subtract and get the sign of the bigger number. So 5ab squared minus ab squared is going to remain with the positive 4ab squared. Then next, we have these two which are also like terms. So we are not supposed to focus on the sign we are seeing there because these two numbers have different signs. When they have different signs, you subtract and you get the sign of the bigger number. So here we have negative 7ab plus 2ab, which will give you, the bigger one here is 7, so the answer will be negative. Then you subtract 7 minus 2, which will give you 5ab. So you have simplified the first question in this paper. You can pause the video to go through. Okay, question 2, in this case, we have evaluate 9 to the power 1 over 2 plus 1. 9 to the power 1 over 2 plus 1. So how can you evaluate this expression? So this is under indices. You first have to solve the power before you add with 1. So to solve the power, you have to introduce the square root. The base of this index is written inside the square root, and the denominator of the power is written outside the square root. Then you close these two in brackets, and the numerator becomes a power plus the 1 which is at the end there. Then we continue. If you follow bit mass or board mass, depend which one you know, it's the same. You follow what is first, they all stand for orders. So start with the orders, which also means indices. So find a number which you can multiply itself 2 times to get 9, and that number is 3. So this becomes 3 to the power 1 then plus 1, which is at the end here. Any number raised to the power 1 is the same number, does not change anything. So we have 3 plus 1, which is equals to 4. So that is our second question in this paper. I hope we are going and we are together and nothing is complicated if you have seen so far. Question 3. Okay, question 3 from this paper is solve the equation x squared minus 2x is equals to 0. There are different methods of solving algebraic equations. In this case, specifically quadratic equation, you can solve using factorization method, you can solve using difference of two squares or quadratic formula. But specifically on this question, you can solve this using factorization method, where you have to find the common factor on the expression there. So the common factor here is x, open the bracket, x into x squared, so remain with the x here, remain with the x there, then minus x into 2x, you remain with the 2 only, which is equals to 0, of which we have x, the one outside the bracket, is equals to 0, or x minus 2 is equals to 0. This one is already solved. We need to continue that one for us to find the value of x. So this will be x is equals to 0. Any number when it crosses the equal sign becomes an opposite sign. So this is negative, that side becomes a positive 2. So x is equals to 0 plus 2 is the same 2. So therefore, x is equals to 0, or x is equals to 2. That's how we can solve such kind of equations when you face it in your exam. Question 4 came from sets. Question 4 came from sets. Using set notation, describe the shaded region in the diagram below. The shaded part is this side. Okay, they want you to use a set notation to describe the shaded region on question 4. So if you look carefully on the diagram, we want the elements found in set A and B, and we do not want all those elements found in set C. So to write that one using the set notation, it will be A union B intersection C, union C complement, because we do not need all the elements found in set C. So we want all the elements found in set A and B, but we don't want all the elements found in set C. We just want those found in set A and B. So that is the set notation which we use to describe if you have been given the shaded region in a set. Question 5, again, is from algebra. 5 factorize completely. Factorize completely. 2x squared minus x minus 6. That is an algebraic expression. This expression can only be factorized by finding either using the quadratic formula, especially factorization method. You cannot factorize this by using the difference of two squares. So for you to factorize this one using the factorization method or the product, you first have to give these expression letters. The letter with the power 2 is given as A, the letter without the power is given as B, and the number without the letter is given as C. So to factorize this expression, you first have to find the product of A times C. So first find the product, the number at A times the number at C. Then after you find the product, you must find the sum, which is the number at B, then later on factor. So let us find first the product. The number at A, just get the number and not the variable. So the number at A is only 2 times the number at C, don't leave out the sign, which is negative 6. And this will give us negative 12. The number at B as the sum is equals to negative 1. Now when you find the product and the sum, when you find in the factors, you find the two numbers which when you multiply, you get the product, and when you add them, you get the factors. So first find the two numbers which we can multiply to get 12 before involving the sign. The easiest number we can go for is 3 and 4. Now you need to know which one will be a negative for you to give you the correct answers. For example, if you are to put this one as a negative, of course when you multiply 3 times 4, you get negative 12. But when you add them, it will give you the positive one, which is not correct. Which means 4 is the one supposed to be a negative, and the 3 will be a positive. So the factors are 3 and negative 4x. They should carry the letter which is at B, which is the letter x. Now when you find the factors, you have to replace them with the number at B. So we need to put these factors at B. So this will be 2x squared. When putting these factors, get together with a sign. If you are starting with this one, either that one or that one, and so that is 4x, then positive 3x, then minus 6. Once you have replaced the factors at B, you can group now these into two groups so that you can easily factorize by finding the common factor. So this will be, find the common factor between these two. So if you check, 2 can go here, 2 can also go into 4x. So 2 is a common factor. Then x is also common. We have x there, we also have x there. So x is common. 2 into 2 is 1. X into x squared will remain with x. So the answer here is x. Then 2 into 4 is 2. X into x there is 1. So remain with negative 2. Then write down the operation plus. Find the common factor here, the number which can be divided into these without leaving a remainder, which is 3. Open bracket. 3 into 3 here is 1. So 1 times x will remain with x alone. Then 3 into 6 is 2. So remain with the negative 2. Always in the bracket you must have the same thing. When you do that, you write one of these inside the bracket. You can write this one first. 2x, which is outside the bracket, together with the other number which is outside the bracket. And you don't forget its sign, which is the plus 3. Then you get one of these, they're just the same, so just get one, which is x minus 2. So you have factorized the expression completely. Okay. 6 from this paper. Okay, at the end of the financial public a public limited company dividend an investor with 1,500 shares received 750 kwacha. What was the dividend per share? So, at the end of the financial year, a public limited company declares a dividend. Then an investor with 1,500 shares in the company received 750 kwacha. Then what was the dividend per share? Okay, so to find this one, we want to find out how much was it there per share. Now, this person who's called an investor who had the 1,500 shares was given at the end of the year 750 kwacha. Now, how much was it per share? So, if 1,500 shares was given 750 kwacha. Now, how much can it be for one share? So one share, how much can it be? So we don't know how much was declared per share. So for us to find out, you have to cross multiply, which will give you 1,500x, which is equals to 700, 1 times 750, 750. So to find out how much was given, divide both sides by 1,500. There, 1,500. So this one goes. Remain with the x representing one share, which is equals to, you can cancel the zero so that you can remain with the smaller numbers and start dividing. Now 75 can go into 150. You can reduce that. 75 there is 1. 75 into 150 is 2. So you divide now 1 into 2, which is giving you 0.5. So per share, the dividend was declared to be 0.5 kwacha, which can be called 15 way. So per share is equals to 0.5 kwacha. So the dividend which was declared per share was 0.5 kwacha, which is 15 way. Question 7. Given that 9, 15, 21, 27 is an arithmetic progression, find the 20th term, 12th term, and you find the P, the formula for the nth term. This is from the sequences and series, specifically arithmetic progression. Okay, so given that 9, 15, 21, 27 is an arithmetic progression, find the 12th term. So you need to know the formula for the nth term of the arithmetic progression. So the formula for the nth term of the arithmetic progression is nth term is equals to a plus open bracket n minus 1 multiplied by d. The formula for the nth term of the arithmetic progression is a plus open bracket n minus 1 multiplied by d. A represents the first term in the sequence. N is the number which has been asked to find, and d is the common difference. So the first term is 9. The number asked is the 12th term, which simply means the number at number 12. Then the common difference we don't have, we have to find it. So common difference under arithmetic progression is equals to term 2 minus term 1. Term 2 is representing the second number. Term 1 is representing the first number. So term 2 is 15 minus term 1, which is 9. So you need to subtract 15 minus 9, which is 6. So the common difference is equals to 6. Now, since we have the common difference, we can go ahead to find the 12th term, which means while there is n, we'll be putting this number which they want us to find. So the 12th term is equals to a is the first term, which is 9. So we have 9 plus open bracket n is again 12 minus 1, then multiplied by the common difference, which is 6. Please follow the sequences we have to use when solving this. We have to solve what is inside the bracket. First, 12 minus 1, which will give us 9 plus open bracket. 12 minus 1 is 11. So 11 times the common difference, which is 6. Multiplication comes first. So 11 times 6, 66. So we have 9 plus 66. You add 9 plus 66, which will give us 55. So the 12th term is equals to 55. 75. Okay, so we'll continue next time from question 7. We go until we exhaust this paper. So for now, we end here. Please go through this, and if you have other questions, you can post in the comments below. I'll be glad to read it through and reply to your comments. Thank you.